She's thrilled. You won't be surprised to hear. She's absolutely thrilled.
Now she seems confident that she's going to take this all the way to the end.
Expert warns not to celebrate too early.
Blake Lively's euphoria is a little premature.
So guys, don't celebrate. Who are they talking to? Who is going to celebrate this except Blake Lively and her dragons?
So here's the thing. Blake Lively thought she could celebrate her legal victory and move on with her life. But Justin Baldoni's lawyer just delivered a devastating reality check that's about to turn everything upside down. Bryan Freedman appeared on TMZ Live and absolutely destroyed Blake's premature celebration, calling it nothing more than a false victory tour. And what he revealed next is going to shock you.
She's on a false victory tour, and she's afraid of the truth. And the truth is going to be shown through depositions, which is what's going to be next.
Freedman didn't hold back, telling TMZ that Blake is afraid of the truth and that this legal battle is far from over. While Blake and her team were popping champagne over Monday's court ruling, Freedman was already planning his next attack. He made it crystal clear that despite the judge dismissing the $400 million defamation lawsuit, Justin Baldoni isn't backing down. In fact, he's doubling down in a way that could completely destroy Blake's narrative. But here's what's really explosive about Freedman's response. He's not just talking tough for the cameras. Sources close to the legal team reveal that Baldoni's side has been preparing for this exact scenario, and they have evidence that could change everything. Freedman's confidence isn't just bravado. It's based on legal loopholes that Blake's team might have overlooked.
I've noticed her deposition. It's set in June. We're going to see if she's going to appear at that deposition or not. And we're going to proceed forward with the case.
Let's break down what actually happened in that courtroom. Because the media headlines don't tell the whole story. Yes, Judge Lewis Lyman dismissed Baldoni's $400 million countersuit against Blake Lively and Ryan Reynolds. But here's the bombshell detail that everyone missed. The judge didn't slam the door shut. Instead, he left it wide open for Baldoni to come back swinging. The court specifically invited Baldoni's team to amend 4 out of their 7 original claims. That's not a total loss. That's a roadmap for round 2. Judge Lyman essentially told Freedman's team exactly how to restructure their case to make it stick. According to court documents, the judge said they could return with additional evidence and refined allegations. Translation: bring better receipts, and we'll talk.
I think there are 3 other claims that you could refile, correct?
There's actually 4, and the judge was very specific about them.
Even more shocking is the timeline. Baldoni has until June 23rd to refile these claims, which means Blake's celebration might have lasted less than 2 weeks. Legal experts are calling this dismissal procedural rather than substantive, meaning the judge didn't rule that Baldoni's allegations were false, just that they weren't presented correctly the first time. Now, here's where Freedman's false victory claim gets really interesting. Sources familiar with the case reveal that Baldoni's legal team has been sitting on evidence they didn't use in the original filing. Freedman told reporters that his team will showcase additional evidence and refined allegations when they refile, and insiders say this new evidence could be devastating for Blake. The 4 claims that can be amended include interference with contractual obligations, and this is where it gets explosive. Legal experts suggest this could involve Blake's alleged attempts to control the film's final cut and promotion, potentially costing Baldoni and his studio millions in lost revenue. If Freedman can prove Blake deliberately sabotaged the film's success, those damages could be massive. But here's the most shocking part. Freedman claims that Blake's own team describes their alleged smear campaign as untraceable because they cannot prove what never happened. This suggests Baldoni's team has documentation that could prove a coordinated effort to destroy his reputation. If these claims stick in the amended filing, Blake's victory could turn into her worst nightmare. The legal drama gets even more explosive when you look at what's happening behind the scenes with depositions. Blake Lively has allegedly been trying to prevent Bryan Freedman from personally conducting her deposition, and her reasons might shock you. According to court filings, Lively's team objects to Freedman taking her deposition based on unspecified statements he's made about her in the media. But here's where it gets absolutely wild. When Baldoni's team asked Lively's lawyers to elaborate on their objections, they refused to provide details. Legal experts say this is almost unheard of. You can't just say you don't want a specific lawyer questioning you without giving concrete reasons. Freedman's team fired back, stating that parties to litigation simply do not have the right to dictate which of their opponent's attorneys may or may not take their deposition. The most shocking revelation, Freedman has suggested holding Blake's deposition publicly at Madison Square Garden and selling tickets, with proceeds going to domestic violence organizations. While this sounds like a publicity stunt, legal insiders say it's actually a brilliant psychological move. It shows Freedman's complete confidence in his case and puts additional pressure on Blake to agree to the deposition under normal circumstances.
We're going to show that there was no sexual harassment, and we're going to show that there was no smear campaign. And it's really just that simple.
What makes Freedman's media blitz even more explosive is that he's doing it despite a direct warning from the judge. Back in February, Judge Lyman threatened to move up the March 2026 trial date if both sides continued litigating in the press. He specifically imposed what's called the Empire State Rule, telling both parties to stop making statements that could influence potential jurors. But Freedman isn't backing down. He's appeared on TMZ, Megyn Kelly's show, and Chris Cuomo's program, each time dropping more bombshells about the case. Sources close to the legal team say this isn't reckless behavior. It's a calculated strategy. By controlling the media narrative now, Freedman is trying to shape public opinion before the trial even begins. The most shocking part of this media war is that both sides are using it as a weapon despite the judge's warnings. Blake's team has been pushing their narrative through friendly outlets like People magazine, while Baldoni's team has been more aggressive with their media appearances. Legal experts warn that this escalating media battle could backfire on both sides, but neither team seems willing to back down. Here's a bombshell that Blake's team hoped no one would notice. She quietly abandoned key emotional distress claims from her original lawsuit. And the reason why might be the most revealing detail of this entire case. Blake dropped these claims specifically to avoid having to turn over her medical and therapy records to Baldoni's legal team.
We're also going to fight her claims. There's been absolutely no indication of any kind that she's prevailing on her claims. As a matter of fact, just the opposite, if you look at the facts and the evidence that we've seen.
Legal experts say this move is extremely unusual and suggests potential weakness in Blake's case. Normally, plaintiffs in harassment cases include emotional distress claims because they can result in significant damages. By abandoning these claims, Blake is essentially leaving money on the table, unless she's hiding something that would be even more damaging if revealed. The timing of this decision is also suspicious. Blake's team made this move right as Baldoni's lawyers were demanding access to her medical records to verify the scope of her alleged emotional trauma. Sources familiar with the case suggest that Blake's therapy records might contain information that contradicts her public statements about the timeline of events or her emotional state during filming. The financial implications of this legal battle are absolutely staggering, and they go far beyond the $400 million lawsuit that was just dismissed. Industry insiders reveal that both Blake and Baldoni are fighting for their professional survival, with career-ending stakes that could reshape Hollywood power dynamics forever. For Baldoni, the allegations have already cost him millions. His talent agency WME dropped him, multiple projects have been canceled, and his production company Wayfarer Studios is hemorrhaging money. Sources close to Baldoni's team say they calculated the $400 million figure based on projected lifetime earnings from directing, acting, and producing deals that have evaporated since Blake's allegations went public. But Blake's financial exposure might be even more shocking. If Baldoni can prove his amended claims about interference and defamation, she could face massive damages for lost film revenue, canceled projects, and punitive damages. Entertainment lawyers suggest that if the case goes to trial and Baldoni wins, Blake could be looking at one of the largest defamation judgments in Hollywood history. The next few weeks are going to be absolutely explosive, and what happens by June 23rd could determine the fate of both careers. Baldoni's team has until that date to file their amended lawsuit with the new evidence Freedman keeps hinting about. Legal insiders say this refiled case could be even more devastating than the original, with additional defendants and expanded allegations. But here's the most shocking part about what's coming: the depositions. Freedman has made it clear he will personally be conducting Blake's deposition, despite her team's objections. Sources familiar with deposition strategies say Freedman is known for his aggressive questioning style, and he's had months to prepare. Blake's deposition could become the most explosive moment in this entire legal saga. The March 2026 trial date is still locked in, and both sides are preparing for what could be the most watched celebrity legal battle since Johnny Depp and Amber Heard. But with this new evidence and the amended claims coming, this case might not even make it to trial. Settlement negotiations could begin as soon as Baldoni's new filing hits the court, and the pressure on both sides is about to reach a breaking point. So, what do you think? Is Blake Lively's victory really false, like Freedman claims? Or is Baldoni's lawyer just trying to save face after a devastating legal loss? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. If this breakdown helped you understand what's really happening in this explosive legal battle, hit that like button and subscribe for more celebrity legal drama breakdowns. Ring that notification bell so you never miss our latest videos covering the biggest Hollywood scandals. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.